Today we're diving into a topic that can really help you sound more natural and fluent in English: relative clauses. If you've ever wondered how to combine sentences to give more information or to be more specific, you're in the right place. So let's get started. So what exactly is a relative clause? A relative clause is a part of a sentence that adds more information about a noun. They usually begin with a relative pronoun like who, whom, whose, which, or that. For example, take the sentence, "The book is on the table." Now let's add more information using a relative clause. "The book that you gave me is on the table." See how the relative clause "that you gave me" gives more information about the book. This is exactly what we'll be focusing on today. Now let's talk about the different relative pronouns you can use in these clauses. Who is used for people. Example, "The man who called you is my uncle." Whom is also used for people, but usually in formal contexts or when the person is the object of the verb. Example, "The woman whom I met yesterday is a doctor." Whose shows possession. Example, "The girl whose phone is ringing is my sister." Which is used for things or animals. Example, "The car which is parked outside is mine." That can be used for people, things, or animals. Example, "The dog that barked all night is mine." Remember, who and whom are only used for people, while which is used for things and animals. That is more flexible and can be used in place of who or which in defining relative clauses. Next, let's talk about the difference between defining and non-defining relative clauses. Defining relative clauses are essential to the meaning of the sentence. Without them, the sentence wouldn't make complete sense. Example, "The woman who works at the bank is my neighbor." If we remove who works at the bank, the sentence would lose an important part of its meaning. Non-defining relative clauses provide extra information that can be removed without changing the main idea of the sentence. These are usually separated by commas. Example, "My neighbor who works at the bank is very kind." If we remove who works at the bank, the sentence "my neighbor is very kind" still makes sense. Notice how non-defining relative clauses are set off by commas? That's a key difference to remember. Now, let's look at some common mistakes learners make with relative clauses and how to avoid them. Mistake 1, using that instead of who when referring to people. Incorrect. "The teacher that teaches English is nice." Correct. "The teacher who teaches English is nice." Mistake 2, forgetting the commas in non-defining relative clauses. Incorrect. "My brother who lives in Canada is coming to visit." Correct. "My brother who lives in Canada is coming to visit." Mistake 3, using unnecessary relative pronouns. Incorrect. "The book that I read it was interesting." Correct. "The book that I read was interesting." Remember these tips and your relative clauses will always be correct. That's all for today's lesson on relative clauses. I hope this has helped you understand how to use them to add more detail and variety to your sentences. Don't forget to practice by writing your own sentences and even try to spot relative clauses in your everyday reading. If you enjoyed this lesson, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new lesson. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.